What is up, everybody? I am Mumphy. Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new, thank you so much for joining. Hopefully today's video will earn your subscription. You'll hit that little subscribe button. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers, so thank you for your continued support. And at that 1,000 subscriber mark, I'd love to do a really big giveaway. If you like this video, hit the like button. I really appreciate it. And let's get into this install. All right, guys, so what I got for you today is the tweeter replacement for the Tacoma. We're looking good. We're going to be swapping out got the box here, the Subaru speakers. And if you're interested, here's that part number. I'll also leave a link down in the description box below as to where you guys can pick these up. We're going to go ahead and just open this box up, see what we got. All right, so it comes with a pack of screws. You're probably not going to need those. We're just going to be reutilizing the factory hardware. Comes nicely packaged, wrapped in plastic. And as you can see, the nice kicker tweeters we're going to be installing in the Tacoma. So let's get to it. So now we're inside of the truck. I've got the truck on, just the electrical. I didn't turn the truck on completely. But let's go ahead and check out the sound on the tweeters. So we have a good before and after. Now, it may be difficult to kind of hear through the microphone I have on the camera. It might be difficult to hear the difference, but we're looking for more of the highs. So here we go. Go ahead and get this. Okay, so we're at a 40 on the dial here. So kind of a decent baseline. You can hear the highs going. But yeah, let's get this swapped out and see how it sounds with the new kicker tweeters. All right, now one of the first things we're going to have to do is we're going to have to disconnect the battery. So, I've already popped the hood. Now we'll go ahead and disconnect positive terminal. So that way we aren't going to be setting off any of the airbags. So, that'll be first. Now, one of the tricks that you can do is you can actually take the covering and cover up the positive terminal so that way it doesn't accidentally connect back to the power. All right, now that we've done that, we can go inside and start removing the A-pillars. All right, now that we're inside of the truck, what we're going to do is we're going to work on the driver's side A-pillar. There's a little SRS airbag cover right here that's going to cover up a bolt, and then we'll be able to remove that before sliding out the A-pillar. So we're going to take a plastic trim tool. We're going to just work our way to get that started, and then that should pop off to expose a 10mm bolt. We'll remove this, and then we'll be able to remove the A-pillar. So we do have a couple of washers, one that holds onto the bolt, and then there's a secondary one that we will be replacing. I think this is kind of a spacer washer, but we'll be reinstalling that when we're all done. So now we should be able to just pull this whole A-pillar off. And here's our airbag. Now that we've got the A-pillar off, now we'll work on the tweeter housing. And we'll just get our little pry tool. And just work our way around, making sure that we pop up all of the clips. And then there's our speaker cover. All right, next what we're going to do is we're going to remove the two 10mm bolts holding the stock tweeter in. Now we can remove the tweeter. And underneath, you can see the connection here. Now it is a side pinch connection, so you'll need to pinch down the side here in order to release it. And we'll be utilizing this for the new tweeter. All right, we just got done uninstalling the stock tweeter. And as you can kind of see, it is a paper material, pretty lightweight. I mean, yeah, you got a metal frame on it, but yeah, the magnet's not all that impressive. The kicker tweeters have more of a plastic, better quality. You can definitely tell that we're going to be getting a much better sound, even though they do look a little bit smaller. But let's get these installed. All right, so I do apologize for shooting through the windshield and you're getting kind of a reflection off the top, but this also should give you the best angle. So here we have the kicker tweeter. We're just going to plug it in. Connected on the bottom. And now we can go and set those in and get those reinstalled. So we'll take our 10mm bolt, get that one started. We can line up our second one. Now we can go in and tighten these down. We don't want to snug these down too tight, but secure enough. That should be good. Now we can replace our cover. We're just going to make sure that it lines up properly. Just push that down. Now we can replace the A-pillar. We'll just kind of slide our front aligned, and then we can snug up the rest of it back to how it looked. Alright, next all we'll have to do is just replace the 10mm bolt that goes in there. Make sure we're all lined up in the hole. Remember, we're taking our spacer. Come on. There we go. We have a spacer in there with the washer. So we'll do most of it by hand. Then we can take our ratchet and just tighten that back up. Alright. Then we can just take our little cover. Pop that back in. Now we can work on the passenger side. Okay, so with the passenger side, we're going to have to get back behind the grab handle so we can get to the bolts and remove the passenger side A-pillar. So we'll take our little pry tool here and just kind of work our way around so we can pop those off. And in there we've got two 10mm bolts. Alright, and that should release the A-pillar. And we'll just kind of wiggle that out, and the grab handle should stay with the A-pillar. Now, once again, we'll just take our pry tool, get up underneath the covering. Now with mine, I do have a light sensor. So up top, I have a connection here. The white connection that's up top is actually my light sensor, so it automatically turns on the headlights. So here I've got a light sensor in my cover, so I had to unclip that just so I could remove our housing. So just make sure that you keep that little connection, because we'll have to reconnect that if you have that option on yours. And then once again, it's just removing the two 10mm bolts. And the one closest to the window is always the hardest one. But once you kind of get them loose, you can undo them with your fingers. And once again, you'll want to pull the tweeter up and make sure that you disconnect. Now on the passenger side, the pinch connection is, at least for me, is on the window side, so you may struggle a little bit with that. But we got it out. Now let's replace it with the kicker. All right, we have the kicker. We're going to plug it back in, and then we'll reinstall the bolts. Next, we'll replace this. Now remember, if you do have the sensor on here, you'll need to replug that back in, and it is directional, so it can only go in one way. Pop our cover back on, and we'll take our A-pillar. Just make sure that we got that in properly. Now we'll make sure that our holes are lined up for our 10 mils. Make sure we don't over tighten them. Now we can put our covers back on. Check and make sure that we got good connection. All of our covers are back on, and our install is done. Now, let's do an after sound test. All right, we got the tweeters installed. One last thing before we do the sound test is reconnect the battery. All right. Now, let's go do the sound test. All right, guys, the tweeters are hooked up. We got the battery back and powered up, connected. Now, let's do this test again. In my CarPlay, there we go. There's my CarPlay. I'm going to start the song over again. So let's hear what it sounds like. You can definitely hear the highs a lot better. All right, so it definitely improves the highs of the sound system. Obviously, I still need to replace door speakers. I'll do that a little bit later on down the line, but what do you guys think? Definitely a mod that is fairly inexpensive, takes about maybe an hour to do. Not too bad. Let me know what you guys think. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for this install video. Thank you so much for joining me on getting these kicker tweeters installed in the truck. Hope you enjoyed this install. If you did, please consider subscribing for more videos. I do have a pretty big install video coming in the next couple of weeks. It's gonna be a big one for sure. So stay tuned for that. If you have any questions, comments, please leave them in the description box below. And if you like this video, smash that like button. We are on our way to 1,000 subscribers. And I can't thank you guys enough for sticking with me and enjoying these videos, leaving me feedback. I'm always trying to improve my videos, so please let me know what else I can do to kind of help improve these. I really appreciate all your feedback. We'll catch you in the next video. Peace.